when you look back at the last Michigan State game, as much as you probably didn't want to, what are the few keys that you've got to do better this time?
I think it's really the commonality among any of our really tough losses have been turnovers. We must not give run-out baskets. We did this last game, and we did up at Michigan State. So we just got to take care of the basketball. They are a leader in the conference in steals, and they're turning people over at a pretty good rate. At the same time, we gave them some really easy baskets, but credit their defense.
Rob?
John, do you anticipate any changes to the lineup or any changes in the way that you play defense? I know in one sequence you were really upset with Nick. Was that just a rotational issue, or was that something a little bit more broad?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to always look at what we can do in specific times of the games because of matchups. But you know, we missed a few assignments in that game. We all did, and some of them were more key than others. But that's the way it is. But no, we don't have anything in our mind right now. We're just going to keep playing, keep getting better, and that gives us some great stuff offensively and defensively. He's improved so much this year. But frankly, everybody was bad on defense this past Wednesday. I mean, just everybody was. So,
Michael?
John, obviously some of us weren't at Penn State. Why did Mitch not play in the second half?
I can't tell you. We were trying to guard the ball screen, and he had a couple fouls, and they were really turning the corner on that ball screen like crazy. And we just chose Jordan and John to play. They were playing. I thought both of them were playing well. If you saw Jordan the first half, he was playing well. John was making a major impact, and probably a lot of experience. They gave us more experience.
And I know, like you said, you haven't seen these guys yet, so you don't know necessarily their mood, but do you almost change the way you kind of coach over the next couple days to kind of maybe light a fire under them? Or?
No, absolutely not. I mean, they understand what they have. What they need right now is positive reinforcement. We're going to practice today. We're going to watch very little of Penn State film and move on. It's the best way that we feel it is to approach this right now, because they're not good. They're not bad kids. They're not kids that were pointing fingers in the locker room, or we felt that there was any amount of lack of chemistry. They understand what we have to do, and now we got to encourage as well as instead of discourage.
Right in the middle, Joe.
Coach, you have Jordan Morgan almost healthy this time around for State. What kind of a difference does that make?
Well, hopefully it'll make a difference. I don't think he was just. Jordan Morgan is 70 or 80% is still a good player, but not like the other night he was. For much of that game, he really did a really good job, especially offensively. You could feel it. Defensively, we like I said, we all have to continue to work, but hopefully we'll be better, because if one thing he helps us is he understands what's happening, and he can talk a little quicker, a little louder than the other guys who are still processing things very quickly.
On your right.
Rod asked about lineups, and you said you were still comfortable with this one, but against Michigan State, given their matchup, what they give to you, would going bigger be a bit more beneficial?
It's an option. I mean, we did it up there. It didn't work very well when we were up there. So we'll change. Going smaller may be an option as well. We can do both. Now you give up some rebounds, but you don't throw the ball to the other team. So we're up for anything.
Is Jordan's health make it more of an option? Do you think you play him at the 4, maybe like you said you wanted to?
I thought we had a great rhythm when we were doing that. Guarding Adrian Payne is one thing, as opposed to guarding some of the 4 men that are in the league. So I mean, it's obviously one of our options. That's the one we preferred before he was injured.
Prefer to have Jordan play 4 and
That's it. We were playing really well at that time before the injury. But when you're out chasing somebody on the perimeter, it's a little bit more taxing on your mobility.
Right in front, Larry.
In the realm of positive reinforcement, do you sell to the guys what an opportunity this is to show that they aren't crumbling and they are still good?
We have to remember we are 10-5 in the league, and we're 23-5. We have to remember that. We've been through a rough stretch here that teams go through, and that's it. February was not a kind month to us in many ways, and we have to continue to perform. So keep the end in mind of these are all learning experiences for March, and that's really where much of your season is judged. And here we are in March, and it's all in front of us. That's the type of positive reinforcement we think we give them right now. Spin that one around. What did we learn? How can we not let some of those things happen again?